So, we've made it to the garrison here. Right away, I noticed there are a couple of interesting posts here, including this one. Wanted, Hogger. A huge gnoll. Hogger is prowling the woods in southwestern Elwyn. He has overpowered all attempts at his capture. The Stormwind Army has placed a generous bounty on the gnoll. To earn the reward, bounty hunters should venture into the woods and deal with the beast. Hogger. Hogger gained quite a reputation. And one of the reasons why is because he was one of the very first elites in the game that players encountered when they would first make their human character in this zone. And having gone through the classic version of Elwyn with my human paladin and having encountered Hogger, I can understand why. Even with another player in classic, Hogger was not easy to bring down. And in fact, there's two posters here like, hey, they really want you to go after Hogger.
Need help?
I can't believe the officials in Stormwind sending the bulk of our army abroad when our home front is under so much pressure. With thieves coming from Westfall and gnolls encroaching from the east and west, it's a wonder Stormwind itself isn't besieged. If it's not obvious, I'm trying to do the Jim Raynor voice, because it's Deputy Raynor. Come on. It's such an obvious little nod from Blizz. Marshal Duggan sent you? Well, you're not from the army. But if Duggan sent you, that's good enough for me. Our situation, to say the least, is a stressed one. I hope that you can give us a hand. Gnolls, brutish creatures with no decent business in these lands, have been seen along the borders of Elwyn Forest. A large pack of them, many more than we can handle alone, have infested the woods south of the guard tower yonder. Another group has infested the areas near Stone Cairn Lake to the east. The Stormwind Army will commend whomever helps kill them. Bring me their painted gnoll armbands as proof of your deed.
Light bless you. Be careful.
Yes, sir. And so we now venture into the woods here to deal with the gnolls, including the dreaded Hogger. Hogger became so well known and was so popular that he actually became a dungeon boss. The Stockade. Convict SC-55. Charges too many to list here. Imprisoning the River Paw leader has come at a high cost, including the partial blinding of the warden. Fearing that Hogger might escape, Thelwater has authorized the gnoll's termination with extreme prejudice. What's hysterical about this boss encounter in this dungeon, when you face him, is it takes place after you have faced him in the forest. The idea when you face him in retail is that it's referencing what it was like facing him back here in this forest in vanilla. So when you encounter him in the dungeon and you pull him, the thing he says is, "Forest was just set back," and then he starts attacking you. Because, of course, he has to joke about the meme from Kael'thas saying, it was merely a setback. So, of course, Hogger has to say, forest just set back. Oh, man. When I learned about that, I just thought that was one of the funniest things that they've ever done in this. That is just way too good of a joke. Especially when you know the history about Hogger. Not necessarily in terms of the in-lore history, but just his history with the players and the game. And then, of course, they had to bring it back in BFA when you play through as Horde and you go through the stockade to break out Talanji and Zul. You encounter somebody in a cage next to a Hogger costume. Because it was a human in a Hogger costume, and she's like, "Please let me out of here. It was just a prank. I didn't mean... I had no intention of hurting anybody. Please let me out." Oh, so funny.
I need a target. I need to target something first.
There's actually an extra ability that you can get for your water elemental where it's a targeted AoE freeze. But it hasn't learned it yet. I think you have to reach like maybe level 20 in order for it to actually be an activatable here. Hello? There's an extra quest right here. And I believe this is, yeah, Hogger Hill. There he is! Behold, the dreaded Hogger! Hang on, player, I will aid you. Yipe! Help, Hogger! Minions of Hogger! Hold your blade, adventurer. General Hammond Clay. Wow. Grr. This beast leads the Riverpaw Knoll gang and may be the key to ending Knoll aggression in Elwyn. We're taking him into custody in the name of King Varianrin. No! This is an old deed to an expanse of farmlands within Westfall. It is signed by a Theodore Furlbrow and co-signed by his wife Verna. And on the back of the deed are hastily scrawled words. We leaned on Furlbrow and got his deed. Thought it might be handy if you wanted to forge one of these for your own place. The Furlbrows won't give us trouble. Last I saw them, they were on their way out of Westfall, stuck with a broken wagon. You think the Furlbrows might want their deed back? Alright, so we've got to take down a few more gnolls to get the armbands before we head on back. Alright, so that is a quest that leads into Westfall. Westfall does follow Elwyn pretty well, but you can also make your way over here towards the Red Ridge Mountains as well. And I like the Red Ridge Mountains. I did the questing there, and I was just like, wow! There were some quests there that made me go, holy moly! Blink! Blink should have no cooldown. Who's with me? No? No? Too overpowered? Okay. It was just a thought. Here we go. Alright, so now we'll go turn this in. We'll also go turn Wanted Hogger. By the way, that whole bit of the guy showing up and arresting him, that was not really in vanilla back in the day. That was something they added for Cataclysm. Because, of course, they had to bring Hogger back, and because they had become so popular and famous by that point, they had to, which is why they then made the big deal of him being a dungeon boss in the stockades.
Light be with you.
I see you've been busy. You have our thanks, Papaneeks.
For the Alliance.
Upgraded pants. This might effectively be the finale of Elwyn here. If it's then directing us to Westfall, we'll kind of like take a look at the beginning, but then we'll stop there. Like I said, it can flow nicely into Westfall, but we're just gonna do Elwyn. Because you can do either Westfall or Red Ridge, either one. I like how the elemental keeps up with me when I'm on a mount. I need to get back to farming that mount. It's not a hard farm either. He did what? Great! Now we have a bloodthirsty beast right beneath the streets of Stormwind with a whole... Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Is there an option to auto-decline duels? Like, is that a thing? Can I just, like, auto-decline duels? Ugh. That really should be an option. People just randomly challenging random people for duels. Because he's just randomly challenging people.
Need help?
With a whole army of gnolls at his command. Definitely an improvement. I feel safer already. Here's your reward, Papaneeks, but promise me that you'll check in with the Stockade's guards in Stormwind at some point, just to ensure that things are going smoothly. Wop wah.
Light bless you.
Hey! My first teleport ability. Stormwind. Okay, so... I can block general chat and such, but I can't block just regular say. Not really a way for me to do that. This is another great thing about playing a mage. Teleports. Oh, and opening portals for other players. Like, you can just teleport to cities and such just on your own. Zoom. Like, oh, I'm there. So you don't have to do the whole, I gotta go over here, and then I gotta fly over here, I gotta take this portal over here. No, you can just poof, teleport yourself. Or if you're with friends or with other people, you can be like, hey, let me open a portal for you. Oh, there you go. It's great. Happens all the time. It's always nice to have at least one mage in your group. So you can get conjured food and be able to get portals. That's why I tell people if they want to, you know, try out certain classes, like 2 of the cloth ones I always recommend are either Warlock or Mage. Not just because of the damage, but because of the cool extra utility things like portals and food that they provide. Cookies, summoning portals. Or rather, just summons. Or as we call it, the terminology for a Warlock summoning ability, the closet. It's like, hey, can we get a closet up? Because it looks like a closet. I had a farm once, but that was a long time ago. I preferred a good battle, don't you? What's happened to us? We're in worse shape now than when the Defias ran amok. Yeah, that king is good for nothing. It's a bloodbath, Lieutenant. They've been murdered. Given the body temperature, I'd say that they've been dead for no more than 6 hours.
Greetings.
We don't need any civilian vigilante types getting involved, kid. Leave this one to the professionals. This is useless. Look at the date on this letter. The Furlbrows have been squatting on the Jansen's stead for 5 years. They never could quite get their wagon fixed.
Go with honor.
Alright. And that effectively starts Westfall. You can see here. With just 3 chapters. But we're going to end this. Teleport to Stormwind! And that brings us straight to the Wizard's Sanctum, which is the portal room here for everybody else. But this is also good for mages because then you can go to the mage trainer as well as the portal trainer.
Greetings.
Now, as you level up and you get more currency, you can be able to acquire more teleport abilities or even portals. This early on, if I have enough money, I can get the ability to teleport to other Alliance cities because I'm an Alliance character. Teleport to Arnassus, Exodar, Ironforge, and Theramore. And then later on, you can get the portals for that for other people to use. And then as you continue to level, you get access to other places such as Dalaran and Northrend, Shatrath, Tol Barad, the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, Storm Shield, Dalaran and the Broken Isles, and Borealis. So, like I said, lots of cool little, things like that for a human mage to be able to acquire and be able to utilize. It's pretty great. Just gonna head out. Zoop. Step out here. And welcome to Stormwind. And with that, that is the human starting zone experience, ladies and gentlemen. You go through Elwyn. It's pretty standard, pretty fun. And we will be checking out a different Alliance race when we return, as we will be heading to the other side, to the north of Kalimdor, to Teldrassil, and be checking out the Night Elf starting zone experience. Stay tuned.